It's time for a special episode of Happy Landings with your host, Jay Nowak.
Thank you very much. And now, I'd very much like to come back here on Happy Landings just to talk about a couple things based on a pretty big trend that I've been going around on my channel. Milestone challenges. In case you haven't noticed, there have been several of them that I've had uploaded this whole entire year so far. There's been milestone challenges of all sorts. There was a milestone challenge where I basically pretended to be a mime for some time, and I basically been reflecting certain famous internet poses relating to dance or whatnot with my hands. And there was also a milestone challenge where I hiked for about 21 miles on the state trail, also called the Ice Age Trail. And there was also a milestone challenge where I ate an enormous bowl of Jelly Belly jelly beans. Although, if you've already seen it, which was uploaded last February, then you probably would have noticed that I didn't in fact eat every single one of the beans that were in there. Though eventually, I did showcase that I did in fact eat all of the jelly beans in there, but as time went on, rather than in just one whole session, for health reasons, for the most part. But aside from all that, there's a crap ton of milestone challenges that I might in fact have to try out. A lot of these would have to do with some chance taking and some sports and some other things that would take place over time. But of course, many of these ideas I pretty much would just like to keep secret. Though I feel like that all these questions that I've been getting about milestone challenges lately, of course I would just refer to why is that again, but this is yet another time where I feel like that it would be right for me to simply explain it all. So here goes. Basically, the point of me having milestone challenges is that since I am in fact a hard worker, an American amongst many Americans that happens to be struggling with attempting to make a living based off of a certain monthly income. Of course, I did have a monthly income that was worth maybe someone who would probably be at age 5 or 6. But now that I'm going to be 21 years old, there's no doubt in my mind that I should at least have a salary worth of maybe 50 grand or 60 grand. Because, of course, even though I'm not enrolled in college, nor have I really obtained a good degree of any sorts yet, it's still clear by now that maybe it would be the right time to do so, but until that happens, I'm just simply trying my best to make as much funds as I can so I can afford to go to college, which could be years from now. But until that happens, I've got some bills to pay. I've got some electrical bills, I've got some rent that I'd have to pay up for. I've also got some mortgage to help out, and I've also got a few other things that I'm also going to have to work on as well. At least until I can get to college and get a good degree so I can get myself a pretty good job out there, with a high-paying salary, of course. But that is quite some time from now. It's a long-term goal that is as realistic as possible and as traditional amongst many Americans out there who have in fact got out of high school a long time ago, like me. Of course, many of you have already heard about that story in life, but moving on from that part, pretty much, if I'm able to, I'd say that there's a lot of stuff worth doing out there. And I mean a lot. That's the main reason why I'm doing whatever I can to have Kaiju Force Neo go as far beyond a point to where I can at least get myself a good amount of money made. Of course, it'll take a lot of time to do so, but still. Going back to milestone challenges. Whenever I do those, I feel like I'm rewarding myself with a certain thing out there. Because since I've worked hard on my channel for the last 12 years almost, it's still a tradition to this very day, a pretty big topic of mine that I've always never let go. And of course I will not in fact let it go simply because of some COPPA regulations or Children's Online Privacy Protection Act based subject out there that does in fact continue to linger around sometimes. But of course, many of these things have been debunked and proven to be not so much of a fact, but rather just a point of view of someone else's mind thinking that a platform like YouTube will dissipate very quickly. It'll leave a lot of us speechless. But of course, like many things out there that were proven to be a myth, the fact that COPPA would try to have channels deleted for even the most ridiculous purposes ever has in fact been proven to not be the truth. So that is at least one thing that we can all agree on, and the fact that it's something that we should rest easy for. But now, one more thing about milestone challenges. Everything that I happen to do on my channel, regardless of whatever type of milestone challenge or whatever type of social media asset that I happen to be collective on, of course I do happen to call them social media assets based on the number of followers that I receive or the number of tweets or posts I make on the internet in general, or how many things I happen to interact with. That's basically all going to add up to a point where I can at least consider the fact that I've worked hard enough to enjoy a little reward for myself. And there have been a lot of times to where I have, in fact, gone through with a lot of things out there. But there's still a crap ton of things that I can probably try out at some point before it all goes away. There's challenges like I could try and find something very rare on eBay, or I could simply go to a restaurant and, well, order something that's off the menu, or anything of that sort. But of course, until a certain thing out there happens, like if I get another 20,000 followers on Twitter, or if I finally manage to obtain 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, all of that, they're just long-term goals that of course I'm going to have to continue working hard on. It'll take time to get there, but you know what? It's an idea of a lifetime. And I sure hope that anyone out there who happens to do stuff like that for their channel should get to know that these are rewards that can come with long-term life lessons. And that, of course, is pretty much just where I draw the line here, so that's pretty much enough of me talking about milestone challenges and the like, because there's still a lot of other things to look out for. So, with all that being said, I'm Jay Nowak, this is Happy Landings, and I'd like to say thanks to everyone out there who would be listening in all this time. But I don't know many people out there who would do that. So take care, everybody. I mean it.